all love cartoon heroes, but let's be real, not all of them live up to the title. Some of these so-called heroes aren't just bad at their jobs, they're disasters in disguise. Walking calamities who are supposed to save the day, but end up making everything worse. It's even a wonder that they've not caused more damage than the villains they fight. Well, today we're talking about the absolute worst cartoon heroes. First up, we've got the king of failed machismo, Johnny Bravo. With his Elvis haircut, big muscles, and overinflated ego, Johnny has mistaken his reflection for heroic greatness. Poor Johnny believes that he's the ultimate hero and ladies' man, while in a real sense, he's neither. I mean, his heroic efforts always revolve around impressing women, which barely works out. Dude never wastes a chance to flex his muscles and flirt with women. His narcissism is his downfall. Instead of being a savior, he's a liability who causes more problems than he solves. Remember that one time he teamed up with Adam West in Johnny Bravo Meets Adam West to fight crime? Well, you'd think this would at least help him save the day for once. But nope, he was way too busy listening to his libido. Johnny's constant flirting and cluelessness makes him completely useless. His confidence is laughable. And his lack of awareness? Well, that's practically his superpower. He's so obsessed with his own reflection that he never realizes that he's the problem. You know, for a guy with muscles, you'd expect him to at least do some heavy lifting. But Johnny? No. He's lifting nothing more but his own ego. Honestly, Johnny is a hero in his own mind only. And even that's a stretch. Face it, Johnny. You're just a walking disaster in tight jeans. Dude, you can't even tie your shoes without someone messing it up. You can't save anyone, Johnny, not even yourself. Next up, we have Captain Planet. He's the hero from Captain Planet and the Planeteers. With powers from elements like earth, water, fire, wind, and lightning, this guy is tasked with saving Earth from pollution. A hero with all these powers is definitely unstoppable, right? Well, on paper, yes, but for Captain Planet, it's actually the other way around. The guy is vulnerable to pollution. Yeah, you heard that right. The eco-warrior is literally defeated by the very thing he's supposed to destroy. Isn't that ironic? It's like Aquaman being allergic to sunlight or Batman being afraid of the dark. Captain Planet has got some good intentions, but every time the villains release some toxic waste, he's kaput, he's doomed. In the episode A Hero for Earth, Captain Planet is exposed to smog that weakens him, thus forcing him to retreat. He leaves the heavy lifting to the Planeteers, which makes him end up looking more like a mascot than an actual hero. Honestly, it's like they should have just handled everything from the start. Captain Planet's heart is definitely in the right place, but when your biggest enemy is the thing you're supposed to fight, you're not much of a hero now, are you? How did he land this job in the first place? Oh, Scrappy-Doo. Where do we even begin with you? The character no one really wanted, but were some reason stuck with. Scrappy was introduced to save the Scooby-Doo franchise, but he ended up doing the opposite. Instead of boosting the show's ratings, Scrappy became one of the most hated cartoon characters ever, all thanks to his overconfidence and irritating catchphrases like, "Puppy power!" This pint-sized pup always believed that he could solve mysteries by charging in headfirst into danger. Instead of saving the day like the superhero he thought he was, Scrappy always created more problems. Scooby and Shaggy always found themselves in unnecessary trouble, and all thanks to Scrappy-Doo's stupidity. Like in Scrappy's birthday, Scrappy nearly got everyone captured because he thought he could take down a monster by himself, which he clearly couldn't. He thought he was brave, but in reality he was just reckless. Scrappy's presence was just so annoying that fans collectively wished for his removal, and guess what? Their wish was granted. In the live-action Scooby-Doo movies, Scrappy literally became the villain. That's how awful it got. Now, let's talk about Homer Simpson from The Simpsons. We all love the guy for his charm and goofiness, sure, but when it comes to being a hero, well, not so much. Homer's more of a walking catastrophe. Actually, he might just be the most accidentally created hero ever. Homer is well-meaning, yes, but his poor decision-making, laziness, selfishness, and irresponsibility always lead to more chaos every time he tries to save the day. Let's take the episode Homer the Vigilante, for example. In this episode, Homer tries to stop a string of burglaries by forming a neighborhood watch. Sounds great, right? Well, maybe. However, instead of catching the criminals, he ends up causing way more harm than the burglars ever did. You almost remember that one time he almost caused a nuclear disaster because he fell asleep at work? Homer's idea of heroism is usually stumbling into situations he doesn't understand, and somehow through sheer dumb luck, he manages to save the day, or at least not destroy everything completely. Look, let's just say that his heart is in the right place, but his brain never quite catches up. He's more likely to cause a disaster than prevent one. Classic Homer. He tries, but the guy can't seem to get it right. Then there's the eternal loser, Ash Ketchum. This guy's been 10 years old for over, 2 decades now? And he still can't figure things out. I mean, who chases one title for over 20 years? Sure, he finally became a Pokemon master after winning a major championship in 2023. But let's not forget about the countless tournaments he's lost along the way. Ash has got the heart and determination, but strategy? He has none. The guy makes rookie mistakes over and over again, all thanks to his terrible strategies. Time after time, Ash rushes into battle without a plan, often sending Pikachu to fight opponents that should have been easy wins. Like that one time he sent Pikachu to battle against a Caterpie? Seriously, Ash? What was that strategy? Ash's loss in the Kalos League final is a perfect example of his poor decision-making ability. Despite having one of the best teams ever, he chose brute force over strategy, thus costing him the final. He ignores advice always, refuses to evolve his Pokemon, and gets lost in every region while going to battle. Ash is that dude who's always almost there, but never quite gets the job done. He might be a champion now, but let's face it, it took way too long to get there. Moving on, we've got Johnny Test. Johnny Test may seem adventurous, but when you dig a little deeper, he's just a lazy, spoiled kid who's totally reliant on his genius sisters. Instead of being the hero, Johnny's usually the reason why everything goes south. In Johnny vs. Bling Bling Boy, Johnny tries to take on the role of a hero, but his poor planning and overconfidence results in his sisters always having to clean up after him. This so-called hero always underestimates his problems and overestimates his abilities, making him more of a liability than a hero. Johnny's problem is that he never seems to learn from his mistakes. He's constantly getting into trouble and expects others to bail him out. His heroism is more of messing things up and relying on his own sisters to fix them, rather than doing anything heroic himself. Sounds more like Johnny Mess if you ask me. He's a hero by title only, and even that's debatable. If anything, Johnny's the reason the day needs saving, not the one saving it. And finally, let's not forget about Jerry from Tom and Jerry. Everyone loves him as the clever underdog. But let's be real here. Jerry's more of a bully than a hero. His victories over Tom are more about absolute cruelty than heroism. In the Cat Concerto, Jerry ruins Tom's piano performance, not because Tom's a threat, but because he just wants to have fun. Jerry might be clever, but he's also a bit of a sadist, making Tom's life miserable for no absolute reason other than his own fun. Sure, Tom's trying to catch him, but his pranks often feel less of self-defense and more like bullying. Jerry's antics are often mean-spirited, and while he usually wins, it's hard to root for someone who's just out to make someone else miserable. He's clever, sure, but a hero? Not so much. At some point, you've got to wonder, who's the real villain here? There you have it, guys. My pick for the worst cartoon heroes that have somehow managed to retain the title despite failing miserably on numerous accounts. Who's your worst cartoon hero? Let me know in the comments.